Hello, my name is Sydney Walters, and today we're going to be talking about animal diversity. Let's say you're at the zoo and you're looking all around you. You see elephants and tigers, but also stingrays and frogs. These are all different kinds of animals, each with their own unique classifications. The animal classification system characterizes animals based on their anatomy, morphology, evolutionary history, features of embryological development, and genetic makeup. Scientists have developed this system to categorize all members of the animal kingdom. Animals can be classified based on their type of body symmetry. They can be radially symmetrical or bilaterally symmetrical. Radially symmetrical animals have body parts arranged around a central axis. A good example of that is our little jellyfish friend. Animals that are bilaterally symmetrical are divided through a sagittal plane, giving them left and right halves. A good example of that is us, humans. Animals that display radial symmetry develop two germ layers, an inner layer called the endoderm and an outer layer called the ectoderm. These animals are classified as diploblasts. Animals with bilateral symmetry develop three tissue layers, an inner layer called the endoderm, a middle layer called the mesoderm, and an outer layer called the ectoderm. These animals are classified as triploblasts. The endoderm gives rise to the lining of the digestive tract and the lining of the trachea, bronchi, and the lungs of the respiratory tract. The mesoderm forms between the endoderm and the ectoderm in triploblasts. It gives rise to all muscle tissues, connective tissues, and most other visceral organs. The ectoderm develops into the outer epithelial covering the body's surface and the central nervous system. Animals are also categorized based on their evolutionary history. Immunozoa, which are the distinction of true animals with true differentiated tissues, and parazoa, which are animal phyla that do not have true differentiated tissues. These organisms evolved from a common ancestor called choangiphalates. Immunozoa are subdivided into radioclada, radially symmetrical animals, and bilateroclada, bilaterally symmetrical animals. They are further divided into durotostones and protostones. A type of protostone includes Lophotrichozoa, which are named for two structural features, the larval stage, called the trochophore, and the lopophore, where there is presence of a feeding structure. Scientists are able to study and understand phylogenetics using molecular analysis. Data can be gathered from mitochondrial DNA, ribosomal DNA, and certain cellular proteins. Many evolutionary relationships have been determined due to molecular evidence. Animals evolve, we know that by now. But why? A major reason is changes in environment. We can take a look at the Cambrian explosion where practically all major animal phyla started appearing on the fossil record. After this, the Paleozoic era marked further animal evolution and the appearance of many new species. Then followed the Ordovician period, where plant life first appeared on land. Informally aquatic species were then able to invade the land. This allowed amphibians to develop appendages and reptiles epidermal scales. This advancement allowed for the development of different species and new living spaces, increased diversity. Mass extinction also plays a big role in animal diversity. It causes some genetic lines to be erased while creating room for others to evolve into the empty spaces. The largest mass extinction event was during the end of the Permian period. The disappearance of some dominant species of Permian reptiles made it possible for the emergence of dinosaurs. The climate conditions turned warm and stable, and it promoted the diversification of dinosaurs into every niche: air, land, and water. Plant diversity grew as well. At the end of the Cretaceous period, another mass extinction event occurred. A large meteor impact killed many plants, starving the herbivores and carnivores. Dinosaurs were forced to evoke their dominance to more warm-blooded animals. In the Cenozoic era, mammals radiated into terrestrial and aquatic niches. The development of flowering plants created new niches for insects, birds, and mammals, and new ecosystems appeared with the evolution of grasses and coral reefs. This era is where the current locations of continents and their modern-day inhabitants can be traced to.